So I haven't done a response video in a very long time, and I thought I would do it over somebody I actually watch on a regular basis. Who you see before you is Debunking Hinkle. He is a Marxist, a commie, and I'm not saying that as a derogatory term. This is him. He embraced communism, and he has this wild imagination to think that those of us on the right, a right-winger like myself and a right-winger like you, or conservatives like you, or Trump supporters like you, we are going to embrace Marxism or communism. These people, they're so delusional. Also, I told you one of the biggest things I complain about when I am in the pro-Russia circles, I embrace these commies. And they are constantly, communism is this, capitalism is bad, and communism and Marxism. And it really gets on our nerves because we don't constantly promote capitalism. You know what I'm saying? It'll trigger the mess out of them, but they're constantly trying to sell it to us. But what amazes me is that these people didn't become, and they didn't get into the financial status that they're in through communism or socialism. That's the hypocrisy I just can't stand. I just cannot stand this, all right? Now, don't get me wrong. Jackson has been censored to death, all right? He has experienced the type of censorship that we have experienced for the last, 4 or 5 years. He's banned off of Twitch, just like me, banned off of Twitch. And this is because of his pro-Russia stance. He's also, PayPal got rid of him, just like they got rid of us. Also, I think YouTube demonetized him. And so now he's on Rumble. He's also on Odyssey, and he's on his. He had a second strike on top of the warning, so he was banned from YouTube for 2 weeks, and he had to delete all his videos. So he understands censorship to the level that we understand censorship, and he supports. Well, of course, he's a tanky, so of course he's going to support Russia, even though Russia is not a communist country. But we support Russia because they are a good country, and thanks to them, we're not. We like the fact that they're going after the deep state and other. I'm not gonna go into. We understand why we support Russia, and in the process, so we are on the same team. And they use that, they take advantage of the fact that we're on the same team to try to sell us communism. Now, he's not going to do that in this video. I just wanted to give you an understanding of who he is, because he was also on Tucker Carlson, did a really good job on Tucker Carlson, but I don't think you all know who he is. A lot of you all think he's a conservative. I'm like, no, he's a Marxist. And I'm not saying that as a derogatory term. He'll tell you he's a Marxist. He embraced communism. Okay. He just happens to agree with a lot of people on the right, and he tends to not like the crazy people on the left. Now, he had a video where he is judging what DeSantis and Abbott are doing in reference to flying and shipping immigrants to Kamala Harris in front of her home, sending them to D.C., sending them to New York, sending them to Chicago, and Martha's Vineyard. I keep doing that, Vineyard. So I'm going to do a response. I haven't watched the video. Completely. I think I watched like a couple of seconds, and I'm like, oh, this is the video I want to respond to, because I love his Russia takes. But this ain't it, Chief. So let's listen to him, and I'm going to respond to him. All right, here we go.
This is not solving the problem. It's completely stupid, and it's just virtue signaling, and they should bring it to an end. I mean, this is not... It's not going to address the issue. Carrie Lake sounds like she's got a much better proposal there than what these stupid, it's DeSantis wants to run for president. That's why he's doing this stuff.
Okay, DeSantis. Jackson, I hope you see this video. DeSantis, I do political commentary. I actually do the news. I cover the news from a right-wing point of view. DeSantis said not once, not twice, but 3 times that he has no intentions of running for president in 2024. In Florida, they can only serve, I didn't know this until somebody in Florida told me, but in Florida, they can only serve 2 terms as governor. So he intends on running for governor. He's already filed the papers, and he's already been campaigning, and he's actually has a commercial to get reelected, which he will, and he's gonna stay there. All right, and in 2024, we're hoping that Trump chooses him as VP. But DeSantis said out of his own mouth that he has no intention on running for president in 2024. Maybe 2028. Maybe. He said maybe in 2028. But in 2024, he has no intentions on doing that. So you already starting off on the wrong foot. Starting off with lying.
Greg Abbott, he came up with the idea, I think, but now DeSantis is taking it and running with it because he wants to run for president. It's so stupid.
It's so stupid you don't even know what you're talking about. That's not true. Once again, and we all know, you all are probably already know this, but a lot of these tankies they don't have no idea what's going on this side, except how to try to shove communism down our throat and try to get us to embrace China. Yeah, that's another thing too. They want us to love China. China asshole. Okay, we'll never love no daggone China. I don't know what's wrong with you, dude. That's never gonna happen.
Greg Abbott of Texas and Ron DeSantis of Florida. Ron DeSantis, the Zionist Fed who cannot be trusted. They are essentially taking it.
Another thing too. So you do know Trump's a Zionist. I mean, I don't understand. These people, these commies, want to indoctrinate us into their crazy ideology and Marxism. Never going to happen. But they don't realize that the majority of right-wingers are Zionists. I don't know. This. You know what? Jackson is pretty, but the only thing he's good, in my opinion, is doing is defending the points in reference to Russia. Other than that, he's just very pretty, and I don't mean that in a complimentary way. I mean, that's, in my opinion, that's the only good material he's good for. He's good for that, but other than that, he's just way off, dude.
Migrants from all across Latin America into their states right now, which happens regularly, but they're doing something different, okay? Rather than dealing with the problem in their own states, they are sending these illegal migrants deeper into the United States. They're sending them to places like Chicago, the suburbs of Illinois. They're sending them to Washington, D.C. They're sending them to Martha's Vineyard. And it's very controversial what they're doing.
It's very smart. See, we don't want people who like handouts, and the demon rats, Democrats, are trying to find a way for these people to become future voters. The less Democrats or future Democrat voters in a red state, the better. I don't understand how you cannot figure that out. Also, the resources that red states like Texas, like Florida, like Arizona, the resources they have are not for illegal immigrants. It is for the citizens and residents of that state. Now, because these people believe in communism, they believe in welfare. They believe that, it doesn't matter. We just that nobody should be rich. Nobody should make more than this amount. You got to cap it. That's how mentally deranged their ideology is. They do not like capitalism, which have gotten 95% of blacks in America out of poverty, that are millionaires and billionaires. Kanye could not be a billionaire if it wasn't for capitalism. Same thing with Jay-Z. Same thing with Oprah. I can go all the way down the line, but these people don't realize that capitalism got me out of poverty, got a lot of black people out of poverty, and the only reason that you have black millionaires and billionaires now, which they're against that. They want you to not be billionaires and millionaires, okay? okay? They want you to give a lot of your money to underprivileged people who don't even want to work. So the thing about it is that the only reason we as black people were able to get out of poverty is through capitalism. Snoop Dogg would not be a multimillionaire under no daggone Marxism or communism. Unbelievable. But he believes in a welfare state, and that's the reason why he pushed for communism. So what's amazing is the same financial structure that he is promoting is the financial structure that is making Cuba a third world country. Is the reason why you got people from Cuba, Guatemala, Venezuela. They're all escaping these countries with this ideology that's keeping them poor and impoverished.
Now, I say this from a myriad of points that can be made of what they're doing. Okay, so let's just break it down quite simply. This is the story. This is what's going on. Let me just show you a little bit here. Texas and now Florida is sending migrants to New York and Washington, D.C. by bus. Mm-hmm. Many are glad to go, they say here on CNN. Okay, so this is what...
Actually, this is true because when they get off of the bus, they interview them and they say, yeah, they can't even speak English. I went to go live in Germany for 5 years. You know what I did when I got there? I learned how to speak the language. I learned how to speak German. These people don't even speak a lick of English. They always got to get translators. But I'm sure you don't find that crazy.
What's going on? Florida Governor Ron DeSantis sends 2 planes of illegal immigrants to Martha's Vineyard. And let's see here. Illinois officials send 90 migrants to another suburban Chicago town with little notice. Mm-hmm. So you have, the cities, the major cities that claim to be, sanctuary.
They're not claiming to be sanctuary cities. They are legitimate sanctuary cities. So if these are sanctuary cities where they love illegal immigrants or migrants, whatever you want to call them, they're here illegally, they're criminals. They came into our country illegally instead of the right way. They did it the wrong way. So they are actually sanctuary cities that love these people. So why not send them where they loved?
For these people that are essentially sending them off to the suburbs now. Yep. It's very, very crazy what's happening because at the end of the day, if they're asylum seekers, then they should be able to apply for...
They're not asylum seekers. They're financial migrants. They are here to try to make money because they can't make money in these communist socialist countries that you support. The same financial institution that you're trying to get us to embrace, this is what they're escaping from. Coincidence, huh? Yeah, really? Oh, okay.
No, asylum, political asylum, whatever sort of asylum that they feel as though merits their situation in being in the United States. If they're not asylum seekers, then I don't understand how legally we are using either federal or state dollars to ship them across the country, pay for their food, pay for their water, pay for them to be on a plane to Martha's Vineyard. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Let me help you make it make sense, sweetie. See, I'm going to talk slow so you can understand what's going on. The border is wide open. See, what happened was Trump was fixing the wall and he was putting the wall together. And so when Biden got into the White House, his first day as president, he stopped the construction of the wall. So he left lots of open areas there that is easily accessible to anyone who wants to come into our country illegally. He also have shortened down the staff for the Border Patrol. And anybody can come. And so when you have the border wall wide open, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Hold on. Let me show you some receipts because I don't want you to think I'm making something up, okay? Here is a migrant who was shipped to outside of Vice President Kneepad Harris's house. Listen to what is said to him and listen to what he says back.
And Vice President Harris said that the border is closed. Is the border closed? Do you believe that the border is closed, or is it open?
It's open, not closed. The border is open.
The border is open. Do you believe that all the migrants believe that the border is open?
Yeah, everybody believes that the border is open. It's open because we enter, we come in, free, no problem.
But it's open for you to come illegally, right?
Illegally, yes, illegally, that's true.
And you came illegally?
Yeah, we came illegally, not legal.
Did you hear that, Jackson? They come into our country illegally. That's called crime. And when you commit a crime, you're a criminal. So when you have an open door policy, what you gonna do about that? You gotta close the door. But the Biden administration, the demon rats are not trying to do that. So I don't understand where you're, you know what I'm saying? I like to see you try to open the door to your home and see who comes in there. You see what I'm saying? That's what's happening out of border, baby. If you did a little bit of research and started getting your nice hair, by the way, it looks good. By the way, getting your hair done and cut and stuff like that at a very nice salon in Los Angeles, you would know these things.
Now, obviously, the political optics here are to try, on behalf of these, Republican states, to send the migrants to blue states.
Right.
Blue safe havens,
yes.
far away from any sort of,
yes.
Border with Mexico.
Yes.
Sending them all the way to Martha's Vineyard,
yes.
a town that is well above the median U.S. salary, and everyone there is very wealthy.
Very.
Like 85% of the town voted for Joe Biden.
Yep.
So on and so forth. But we do have to ask questions about this, okay? When we are sending illegal migrants to places like suburban Chicago, they're getting on the bus there and they're going all the way there.
Right.
And these people, we don't know their criminal background. We don't know, their health status.
Right.
Now, I should say that the trope of, illegal migrants all being violent thugs is so overblown. They actually commit less crime on average than American citizens because they fear being deported. If you commit a crime, you're much more like.
First of all, you ain't shown no statistics to prove that, but that's neither here nor there. We don't know their health status. We don't know if they're criminals because, say it with me, Jackson, the border is open. There are tens of thousands of people coming into our country illegally. We don't have enough border agents to process them. When you have open border, what do you expect? Who's going to pay to vet them? Huh? Solve that problem. Well, we don't know if they're criminals. We don't know if they're... No, really? Really? Yeah, we know that because we don't have the resources to find that out. And that was created by design because the border is open. Who are you so pretty?
To be deported, so they commit less crime on average. But still, don't you think that if we're going to be sending people from another country, doesn't matter the country, a lot of these people are not coming from Mexico.
Yes, they're coming from Venezuela, they're coming from Honduras, they're coming from Haiti, they're coming from Cuba, they're coming from these places that have the ideology of communism and socialism, and that's the reason why they're poor. But what does that have to do with them coming into our country illegally? Who cares where they're coming from? But see, Jackson Hinkle supports a welfare state. And this is the thing about communism. He does not believe that we should keep all the money that we have. He thinks that we all should spread it. And I'm like, this is just crazy. This is something that none of us on the right will ever embrace. Never. And I don't understand. That mega communism stuff is not going to catch on. I will bet you on that one. Put your money on me.
They're coming from places like, like Venezuela that we destroyed the economies of through sanctioned war.
Yeah. Venezuela had what kind of economy there, Jackson? The same kind you're trying to promote here in America. Not gonna happen.
Warfare through NAFTA, through trying to destroy their countries with illegal coups and warfare, these sorts of things. This is why they're coming to the United States. And you have to empathize with them, because if you were in their shoes, wouldn't you do the same thing? Wouldn't you?
First of all, I hate this argument, because I'm not going to break the law to come into somebody else's country. Here's the deal. We have a process. We should not allow people to come in here and skip the line of other immigrants who came here legally, other immigrants who got a visa, other immigrants who either married other Americans, other immigrants who actually filed the paperwork to get here legally, okay? So you're saying that it's okay to just bust in front of everybody in the line and commit a crime in the process. Is that what you're saying? So if you're standing in a long line at an amusement park, you're saying that you are okay with 10 or 20 people getting in front of you because they came from a poor country. A lot of people come from poor countries. We have Americans that we're not taking care of. We have dirty water coming out of Jackson, Mississippi that is not being fixed right now. Black people are still having mud come out of their faucet, coming out of their showers. Okay, the shower head. We have veterans who are still homeless and are not getting hospital care, and you don't understand that we are America first. We are not the welfare country of the world. We are America first. We take care of our own first, so we don't care about these other people coming in here illegally. This is what's wrong with you commies. You sit up here and you think we got all this money to sit up here and give to other people and not take care of our own. We have a poverty problem. We have a hunger problem. We have a homeless problem. But you want to sit up here and ignore other Americans and focus on people that's coming into our these criminals. And when I say criminals, I'm not talking about they got a pass. Once you come into this country illegally, and you know you came in here illegally, you're a criminal. You came in here and you broke the law to come into this country. I went to Germany and I did everything I had to do to become a legal resident. If I can do that as a civilized American, they can do that as civilized whatever the hell they are from whatever country they come from.
You come to the United States to seek out a better life.
So,
I mean, if I lived in Venezuela and I saw my economy getting absolutely, destroyed by the United States, and I wanted a better life for my family, I would probably try to bring them to the United States. But
then you would, so you're saying you would break the law? So let me ask you something, Jackson. Would you actually file the legal paperwork to bring them here? Or would you risk them going through the desert, having coyotes possibly R-word your wife or your daughter, okay? Or they possibly die on the way up here. Let me ask you something. Here's something I want you to understand, okay? Look at this. Migrant deaths at the border reach record 782 this year. How is that humane? Make that make sense. Is this acceptable? Here's the deal. This did not happen when Trump was in office. You want to know why? Because Trump was saying, build a wall. They're going to have to come in here legally. Therefore, these people from these countries were not trying to risk their lives, okay, to come to the border in a very dangerous way. To get here is dangerous, but it's not my problem, okay? If you can't do it the legal way, then, too bad. Okay, if something like this happened to you because you decide to go the illegal route, the easy route, to get in front of the line route, to cheat route, okay, this is what happens. But my thing is this. Joe Biden left the border wide open, and that's why you have such a high number of deaths from these financial migrants coming into this country. But you're not going to address that, though, are you?
That's neither here nor there. What's happening right now poses a lot of questions in my mind. If you're looking at this from the perspective of you're a Republican, you're a MAGA supporter, whatever, why would you support using taxpayer dollars or public funds in some capacity to send illegal migrants further into our country?
I can answer that for you. Gather around. I'm going to teach you something about finances because I know you lived a privileged life, so you don't know how it is to have a freeloader live in your home. So I'm going to use that as an example. Let's say, for instance, you have a house or apartment, doesn't matter. You have somebody, you have enough money to just basically support you and your family in that home, and you have somebody who came there unexpected, uninvited. Nobody's inviting these people from Venezuela, Guatemala, Honduras, Cuba, or Haiti. Nobody's inviting these people. They're coming on their own, unannounced, okay? And they come in and they come into your home and they're like, okay, I'm gonna stay here. So you gotta, the money that you have had that's saved up for your own family, you also gotta feed this person. But then you realize, you know what? I gotta get rid of this person. They can't stay in my home. But because they got in there anyway, you got to legally evict them. And it's going to cost anywhere like $150 to $200 to evict them. That costs some money. But guess what? You rather eat that cost of $150 to $200 versus than having them stay into your home for months on end or maybe even years, where it's costing you tens of thousands of dollars because they're eating your food, they're using your water, raising your water bill, your electric bill, okay? And they're basically tearing up stuff because it's not their home. It's your home. So it's cheaper to evict them versus than having them stay rent-free and just mooch all over the hard work and the money that you have put into your own home. So therefore, the resources that Texas have, that Florida have, these are resources that they have for their own Texas residents and citizens, and that was paid for by their taxes. These illegal immigrants did not contribute anything to the financial resources inside these red states. So since sanctuary cities love migrants, they love illegal aliens, then we need to send them where they have the financial resources to cater to these type of people. Since they love sanctuary, since they love these migrants so much, as we find out that's not the case. So that's how that is, okay? You basically save more money than getting them out of your country than having them freeload staying in your country. I hope that made sense to you.
Why would you support that? Okay, so if you're looking at it from that perspective, it doesn't make sense.
I just made sense for you.
If you're looking at it from the perspective of a leftist or a liberal, why would you support this? These people have traveled so far to come here, and then we're trapping them on buses and planes and, using them as political pawns to send across the country. They just want a better life, and that's
not our problem. They want a better life. Guess what? There's a lot of people in poverty, in ghettos, in trailer parks, in the sticks that want a better life, but you don't care about them, do you? I don't see you caping for them. I don't hear you say, well, the poor people in America want a better life. We're Americans. We should get a better life first. America first, not these immigrants. We don't care about them. Oh my God, I just cannot believe. But see, this is what happens when you live a privileged life. You don't know how it is to starve, which he doesn't. Okay, you don't know how it is to be homeless, which he doesn't know that either. He lived a very nice, posh life. He doesn't know about struggling, and he doesn't know about having a fear for your life because you live in a ghetto that's has a high violent crime rate. But even if you live in trailer parks, or you live in a very low income housing, you know how it is to go hungry. You know how it is to have hand-me-down clothes. You know how it is to not have anything, say, or get one toy for Christmas. You know this. This guy does not know that. This is why these type of people embrace communism, because they feel guilty actually being born to good parents and under a good financial situation, only obtained through capitalism. That's all that is.
It's very inhumane what's being done. Like, trapping them in, they've traveled across country after country after country. They get here, these people haven't showered. They are, they need food, they need water, and we're trapping them in buses, shipping them.
You're lying now. You're lying. Okay, what they do to get up here is not our problem. I don't even understand how you even mention that. But once they do get here, they are allowed to take a shower. They are fed. They always are fed. Are you serious? What's wrong with you? They always are fed. If you fact check me, they're given food. And those buses, do you understand they're traveling on their feet through the heat? Those buses have nice plushy chairs that recline and air-conditioned charter bus. Have you looked at those buses, Jackson? Those are not cheese buses. Those are very nice chartered buses. They are traveling in style. And for you to sit up here like, oh, you're trapping them. How are you going to trap somebody who voluntarily get on a chartered bus? Okay? Where they can just recline, go to sleep, they can listen to music, and it's also got a bathroom on there with running water. And once again, they are given food constantly. Let me tell you something. Have you ever seen these skinny women coming over here?
Across the state.
They all are nice and plump because they feed them.
It's just inhumane from that side of the lens as well. I don't really understand it. And at the end of the day, again, if you're right wing, you can look at this and say, well, it's not even really reflective of the issue at hand. Sending 50 people is nowhere near the level of.
Okay, hold on. I cannot hold on. Now this may be unfair because he uploaded this video on Saturday. But it's not sending 50 people, okay? This is going to be a constant thing because Joe Biden refused to close the border. So, Greg Abbott office says that they are going to continue to bus. Wait a minute. They've already bused more than 11,000 migrants to other cities, all right? And guess what? DeSantis vows to fly more migrants to Martha's Vineyard. So listen, the 50 migrants was just a test to see what they were going to do. And we saw what they were going to do. What they end up doing is busing them from, because we needed to show the hypocrisy that Democrats do not love illegal aliens. They want them to stress out the resources and manpower in red areas. They don't want that to happen in blue areas, but we are giving them a taste of their own medicine. That's the reason why they're upset, because we're showing DeSantis and Abbott is showing the world that these Democrats do not love illegal migrants. As a matter of fact, hold on. I have a tweet from NBC. Hold on a second. Where is it? Here we go. Look at this tweet right here. Look at this. Florida Governor DeSantis sending asylum seekers to Martha's Vineyard is like me taking my trash. Oh, I'm sorry. You guys can't see that. Hold on a second. Let me enlarge it. Look at this. Look at how racy. This is what we were doing. We're exposing the Democrats' racism. Very blatant. Florida Governor DeSantis sending asylum seekers to Martha's Vineyard is like me taking my trash out and just driving to different areas where I live and just throwing my trash there. A founding member of a foundation which helps refugees says, this is what we were trying to do all along. This is what we as right wingers are showing the world that, hey, these people are virtue signaling. We're not virtue signaling. We are making Democrats take their mask off to show the world what they are really all about. You're just not smart enough to see what they're doing. Also, I want to show something else here. Let me see here that they have bust them out. So look, they just came in there for 48 hours and now they bust them from Martha's Vineyard to a joint base at Cape Cod, Massachusetts. So they're taking them from their posh, very upscale, upper class neighborhood and bringing them to another area within Massachusetts. So it's still blue, but they're not bringing them back to red states. That's going to make them look pretty bad. I'm not going to continue. Let me see what else you say. Man, you've been saying so many wrong things. Let me see what else he says and I'll just probably stop it. I'm sure I made my point.
Of, flow of individuals that we see coming into this country across the border in these red states. It's not really representative of what's going on. In addition to...
It is a representative. We have had millions and millions and millions of people who have crossed over the border ever since Biden have taken office. Do some research for the way... Hold on, I'm going to just stop now because this video is going to get too long as it is. You know what, Jackson? You're really good in your research in reference to what's going on between the Russia and Ukraine conflict. I really love your coverage for that. But when it comes to stuff like this, you are out of your league. You don't do your research. You don't know what you're talking about. And it's pretty embarrassing that I have to show you receipts to say, hey, this is what's going on. I just basically debunked everything you said so far, and I'm not even at the halfway mark of your video. Here's the deal. Like I said, I don't hate you at all. I actually like you, and I'm still, whether you feel about this reply video or not, it doesn't matter. I still like your content only when you're talking about Russia and Ukraine. Okay, I don't want to hear nothing else about this mega communism and China this and China a whole. We are not going to support no China, okay? We support Russia. We're not supporting China, and we're not supporting Marxism, and we damn sure not going to embrace no mega communism. You're going to learn that eventually, okay? You're going to learn that the hard way. I don't understand why you people think that right-wingers, Zionists, capitalists, okay, are going to embrace your ideology. It's not what we're going to do. But anyway, still like you, okay? Still like you, still going to watch you when you talk about what's going on over there in the EU. But yeah, you're really good with the EU news too. You're really good. I mean, I listen to you, to Duran. I listen to Brian. Brian is probably my favorite. But like I said, other than that, this right here, this content is just way off. And so when I saw it, I made sure I was going to respond to it. But anyway, you guys let me know. I know this video is pretty long. I'm going to stop right now. But let me know what y'all think by leaving a comment below this video. Make sure you leave a like, and I will see you on the next one. Later, taters.